JanetOnOccasion, and today playing the Total War Warhammer II Replay. Battle Replay. A replay of battles. Warhammer II Replay Battle. Yeah, I lost track a bit there. It's fine, you know, it's fine. So, yeah, here, I brought the High Elves, and I'm against the Skaven. So, this should be fun. This is not a build I've brought before, really, but it works pretty well. So I got front line of spears, right? So I got a bit of anti-large, and also, you know, these guys are fine against sort of clan rats and things. They do okay. So having just a cheap front line, it's good to have some numbers against the Skaven, to be honest, because they can overwhelm you. Also, 2 units of Swordmasters of Hoeth. These guys are going to do so much work. They're just lethal, you know, just carving through infantry. It's going to be great. So these guys, you know, I'm asking them to do a lot, I know, but I reckon they can do it. And also, I've got 3 units of archers, because, well, they don't have armour, really, the Skaven, so I can just use these to focus down, you know, rat ogres or the hell pit abomination, stuff like that. And I've also got a eagle claw bolt thrower in the back, so, you know, this is quite handy. You can use it just sort of, you know, get some sort of standard shot into, you know, hell pit abominations, stuff like that. You know, they're quite good for just doing a bit of extra damage, and, you know, if they're ignored, they can just do damage for pretty much forever, which is really good. Or, if they've just got a load of really clumped up units, then you can do the scatter shot and just do serious, you know, HP damage to a lot of Skaven, which is always good fun. And they are quite cheap, to be honest. So, also, I've got Teclis leading, but what is really fun with this army is over here. You see, I have this Ithilmar chariot. Well, chariot unit. So these 3 chariots are going to have an absolute whale of time, you know, running through Skaven, and so are their 6 friends. So as you can see, I have a lot of chariots here. So this is going to be really fun. So I can't wait. So if we have a look over here and see our opponent, so as you can see, he's got an assassin. He's also got Lord Skrolk. He's got a front line of clan rats here. Some Skaven slaves, you know, nice cheap fodder units there. He's also got a warp lightning cannon. He's got the poison wind globadiers, and he's got 2 units of rat ogres. So pretty good. But also that doesn't seem like a lot, does it? That's because he's basically got an entirely new front line hidden in the forest here, which is very clever. You know, keep all your expensive units hidden like this. So he's actually got another weapon team. So he's got the warp fire thrower as well as the poison wind globadiers, which is very cool. And he's also got a load of plague monks. So 4 units of plague monks, and he's got plague monk censer bearers in the middle, which these guys are really tough. They can do just crazy amount of damage. Like if we look, they've got, you know, magical armor piercing damage, huge weapon strength, pretty good melee attack, and also they lower leadership. I forget by how much. It's 10, I think? Yep, and they lower leadership by 10. So that's pretty scary. These guys are pretty formidable. Luckily though, if you look, they have 10 armor, which is basically no armor. So that's pretty good. So, you know, if I can focus them down with, well, anything really, you know, you can make pretty short work of them if you focus them down. But, you know, with all this backup, they are going to just sit there and do a lot of damage to a lot of my guys. So, let's speed things up. So, straight away, I actually just get the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower to start shooting at that Warp Lightning Cannon. Because, you know, seems as good a target as any, right? So, you know, I'm going to try and destroy a couple of these cannons, just slow them down a bit. Well, slow down their killing, really. But, you know, I don't have a lot of great targets for the Warp Lightning Cannon. I mean, at the moment, he's going for Teclis. But, you know, I've got the terrain advantage here, so that's pretty handy. As you can see, he doesn't have a good shot at me. And I'm just going to get the trees. I do actually forget to move Teclis up a bit later on, so I have to quickly run him forward to get some spells. Off, so that's, you know, novel. But over here, I wanted to sort of, you know, posture to make them sort of react to it. Because obviously the rat ogres are going to do quite good against the Ithilmar chariots. The Ithilmar chariots are still going to be pretty good, to be honest. They're anti-infantry, but the rat ogres are unarmoured, so they will do a lot of damage, but they will get bogged down. And you don't want chariots getting bogged down. So I also moved one of my other... Where's my other chariot? Is he... Oh yes, I sent him scouting, which is a bit dangerous, to be honest. Because, I mean, look at this. They just get stuck on these trees so much. It's not a good place for the forest. But I found all their units, so that's something. That'll help. I keep trying to path him over here, but I think he does get caught a couple of times. I have to keep repathing him. See, I'm doing a bit of damage to the Warp Lightning Cannon, but so far I haven't actually destroyed any of the units. They haven't destroyed any of mine, so you know, we're trading pretty evenly here. Oh, and okay, there we go. Yep, 2 cannons gone. So as you can see, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower definitely has its uses, because it is a lot more accurate than the Skaven Artillery. The Skaven Artillery good at just doing silly damage to big blobs of units. And, well, actually the Warp Lightning Cannon is accurate enough to be able to hit, you know, large units very well. So here, this isn't ideal. Chariot's getting shot at by the poison globe it is. But as you can see, I've done quite a lot of damage to the clan rats. You know, I pulled their ogres out of position. You know, I'm having fun with these guys. Over here, they are getting some units down here to deal with the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, but I'm happy for them to just resort to suspending units and trying to deal with that. So over here, you know, the chariot's still running around, being a bit of a pain, and it's allowing my units to come up pretty much unimpeded. And as well as them coming up unimpeded, yeah, these guys are blobbed up quite a lot. I think they use Plague here, which I think is a bit of a... Yeah, so there we go. So I'm just going to run through it. It does do a fair bit of damage to the, like, Swordmaster Hoeth, but not really enough. You need to wait for the enemy to get bogged down by your cheaper units and then put that on top. But anyway, so annoyingly, I was going to use Teclis to do massive damage to these guys, but he's too far away, so he's having to run to catch up, which is a bit annoying. But as you can see, you know, my Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, they've done the job. You know, they've taken out all of these cannons. They're still shooting at it for some reason, but frankly, it's a lost cause. The assassins on them, it's fine. Here, you know, I send the chariot, take out the Skaven slaves, just because, you know, I wanted to pull out of combat for a bit, may as well do something. Slows them up, doesn't it? So here, I've got a load of archers, they are shooting through trees, but as you can see, there's still a lot of arrows coming and hitting these unarmoured units. And here we go, here he is, finally. Teclis finally got in. So, you know, big flame attack, and then big overcast Flock of Doom. So that's extended range, and cast duration, which is great, so they're going to get hit by this flock for longer. And look at the HP damage that's done to them all. So that is fantastic, because Flock of Doom works better against larger units. So the more models there are, the more damage it's going to do. Over here, I'm starting to shoot the rat ogres, because these rat ogres need to die. I need to kill these rat ogres, because they will actually do a lot of damage to my swordmasters. And I can't help that. So yeah, summoning plague monks. So classic Skrolk there. But you see, my Thilmar chariot's still just running around, being a real nuisance. Their Poison Wing Globadiers have taken a ton of damage, which is really good for me. Unfortunately, though, he has used the Lever Buconicus on Teclis, and it does so much damage to Teclis. So much damage! Half his health is gone. So, that's not ideal. But he does have regrowth. Oh, and the Poison of Shiroi as well, so yeah. He can get his health back up. It's not the end of the world. So here you can see I've done a ton of damage to the rat ogres there. And yeah, the Swordmaster's doing the job. 50 kills, you know, Spearman have got 10 there. The archers seem to be clearing up this lot. And probably, yeah, 60 kills for the chariot there. So they're doing pretty well. So some of my guys are coming back. Some of my spearmen weren't happy to carry on fighting in that. Which, fair enough, all those plague monks, all the anti-infantry in there, very scary. See, these Swordmasters, 89 kills against some of the, you know, plague monk censer bearers and all sorts. You know, very elite units they are going toe-to-toe with. Lord Skrolk has taken a ton of damage in here as well from them, so that's really good news. If we go over here, their assassin was chasing off my Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower team for ages, for a very long time. So that's an assassin they just haven't been able to use in the front line, and it would have been so useful for debuffing my line, you know, to get rid of the Swordmasters, you know, let the censer bearers do their work. So that's a real pity. That's too expensive a unit, I think, just charge after a bolt thrower. He probably would have better send one of the units of rat ogres, and they can just deal with it quickly and come back. But anyway, so yeah, I'm bringing my guys back in. So Teclis been having a good time. How many kills has he got? 8. 8 whole kills. Isn't that great? That is awful. What the hell, Teclis? If I'd used that, what was the Ring of Cain? He would have probably killed a ton of those if I'd used it after the Flock of Doom. But they were all healthy when I threw that at them, so he didn't get a lot of kills. But it's fine, because the amount of HP damage he did, it just let the Swordmasters just cleave through everything. So Skrolk is still taking an absolute beating. I've used Enfeebling Foe on him, so he's less effective in combat. Do even more damage to him. I've got a chariot bothering him. And, you know, I'm getting more guys in here. Use another Flock of Doom, so another ton of damage to all their, you know, melee units there, which is really good. Over here, this guy was hidden. Actually, he used concealment bombs. And I've got to say, it really does conceal you very, very well. I saw him about here, coming clearly for Teclis, before he used that. So here, you know, he procced that, I think he procced a debuff there, didn't he? No, he didn't. Oh, okay, I thought he did. That's still the concealment bomb pack. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, he was stalking Teclis, but I saw him coming, so I sent my units back to deal with him. Now I'm shooting at him with archers, because the assassin, you know, only 20 armor, so although he's a single target, and a lot of those arrows are going to miss, it's still going to do a fair bit of damage. So yeah, use Slippery to try and stay alive a bit more, but he's not having a good time, to be honest. So yeah, with the help of my chariots, the Swordmasters managed to basically cleave through all of these units, but they are actually running. There's only 15 of them left, so they took a beating, but they got 139 kills before they ran. Over here there are actually the Warp Fire Thrower team. Clearly just retreated as much as it could, which I'm so glad, because if it got behind me in that big blob, they could have won that combat, honestly. They just had so much anti-infantry there. The fact that I managed to hold them off with basically one unit of Swordmasters, it was all because of Teclis. So without Teclis helping out in that fight, I would have lost it, definitely. But it's very nice of them to blob up like that. I got great value out of that Flock of Doom. Both Flock of Dooms, in fact. And I guess the, Ring of Cain. So yeah, that went pretty well. That went pretty well indeed. I just had all the answers, basically, to, what he was throwing at me, which was really good. But yeah, with the Skaven, throwing chariots at them, it is so difficult for them to deal with it. Really, what they would have wanted to have done is get the Rat Ogres on the chariots as quickly as possible. As soon as they committed, just throw the Rat Ogres at them. And basically try and keep the rest of your army away from my front line. If you can catch out one of the units' chariots and take them out with just, like, cheap, spears. Like, they had Skaven slave spears and stuff, but get the Rat Ogres on them. Stop them being able to run away. And, take them out nice and early. That would have really helped. And then he could have really, focused on the rest of my stuff. Because he definitely had, like, overwhelming infantry. He would have overwhelmed my lines. That was another mistake, actually. He threw all of them in one blob. So really, he could have completely surrounded me over here, but he didn't. He just held them all in one place. He didn't try and pull some of them out and wheel them around. Because if he'd enveloped me there, yeah, I would have needed a lot more spells to have won that. That would have been tough. I would have been taking so much more damage. So, a few mistakes, I think. But still, I had a lot of answers, to his stuff. Like the Rat Ogres, they were trying to deal with Swordmasters, but I had Spearmen in there as well. And once I got the archers firing at them, they just melted. So, I mean, look at the kills here. So, 100 kills for these Swordmasters, 139 for these. Spearmen did okay. They just held stuff in place, basically. So, that's great. That's all they're for. And, yeah, the archers cleaned up. The Athilmar chariots did fantastically. These guys barely got touched. Look at that. Just barely touched and 94 kills. So, really fantastic. You can see, though, Teclis took so much damage from the Liber Bubonicus. Very scary. He just melts under that. So I think fair play bringing that against the High Elves. Because, you're going to be able to melt Teclis very quickly. Because Teclis is very fragile. Very powerful, but very fragile. So you've got to watch out for it. The Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, yeah, did okay. It took out the Warp Lightning Cannon. That's fine. Honestly, at that point, it had paid for itself. And it meant that Assassin wasn't in the fight. They had to send something to deal with it. Or else it would have kept firing. Because suddenly they lost the range advantage, because I took out the Warp Lightning Cannons. So at that point, they had to react to it, or it could have done more work. So either way, they're throwing away units. So, either they're going to just take the damage, in which case, dead units, or they're going to have to wander off the other side of the battlefield, in which case, those units are now no longer helping their army. So, the Claw Bolt Thrower, got torn to shreds, but it did its job. Definitely did its job. So that's pretty fun. And these are worth like $1,000, aren't they? They're more expensive than the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. So, perfect. Great counter, I think. Bring a Bolt Thrower, have it focus the artillery. Usually, it doesn't really work, but, yeah, the artillery piece of the Skaven are very big. They are big targets, and they're pretty flimsy. So, yeah, Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers will do a great job of tearing them up. So, yeah, guys, so that sums it up. So, Zika, thanks for the game. That was really good fun. And hopefully see you again on Ladder soon. If you guys enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.